Yeah. Okay, nothing is Zayin on base. The Gemara says, if someone gives a haircut to a cotton, he takes off hair including the peyos, he's chayiv. If so, who is shaving your kid's hair? Obviously, because in those days the kids didn't have peyos. My wife chayva. He said, take brunum chayva lebnei. He knows why chayva. So in other words, because he holds that a lady is allowed to, even though he holds a man is not allowed to shave his kid's hair, a cotton, but a lady is allowed. And Ravad Rabbi says no. Take brunum chayva lebnei. This chayva should bury her children. Kul shrine Ravad Rabbi kindly zar leravuna. You take it to them and the kids because of the curse. They was the mechli. Tavaris the rise of kasha. Tavaris svirlu. Hakavas kol harosh shmo hakav. What's the machlekes? In other words, Rav Huna, it's clear that Rav Huna held a gadol is not allowed to, but an isha is allowed to. Masha'inkin Rav Barav, he held anyone's allowed to. That was his question. Who's doing it for you? In other words, yeah, everyone's allowed to. But he was upset about the notion to think that if you hold a gadol's not allowed to, that an isha is different. In other words, he held an isha and a gadol has to be the same thing with regards to makaf zakatan. Just he held that even a gadol's allowed to be makaf zakatan. But he's very upset at him. How can you tell me that you hold it's us to be makaf zakatan, yet for some reason a lady is allowed to be? And we're going to explain the machlekes. So it's a double, right? It's a two-way machlekes. One sheet holds a lady's allowed to be makaf zakatan and not a man, and the other sheet holds anyone's allowed to be makaf zakatan. According to everyone should be us. Now, Michael Mefki. Yeah, the Michael Mefki. Rav Huna Savar lo yisakivu pas reishchem lo yisashchus es pas zikonecha. Kol sheyeshni bahashchos yeshni la'akava. Whoever has the isser to be destroyed, to be nikif, can't be makif. Since they're allowed to do it to themselves, so Mamela less than Hunami Bakafa, they're also allowed to do it to someone else. Yeah, so it was related to themselves, they're allowed to. That's clear. Everyone agrees the lady's allowed to do it to themselves. Yeah, so we're just saying, so since they're allowed to do it to themselves, they're allowed to do it to someone else. That was Rav Huna's shita. Rav Rabba no. Echad makif, echad nikif mashma. The pasuk is mashma makif and nikif. Iskif shmakif l'nikif. Kol echad the nikif mechayev makif nami mechayev. If the nikif is allowed to do is aser, the makif is aser. V'hai koton hoyel v'hu gufe lav bar ancient who the mechayev makif nami loy mechayev. This is a special din. Anyone's allowed to do it to a koton because anytime the nikif is not chayev, the makif is not chayev. But Rav Rabba held not like that. Rav Rabba held even theoretically if the nikif is not chayev, in other words, a gadol, ish, he's not allowed to be makaf zakatan. So there's a two-way machlekes. One shita holds, Rav Rabba holds, ish is allowed to be makaf zakatan and not a ish, and Rav Huna holds everyone's allowed to be because echad nikaf echad makaf, because it means makaf nikaf to makaf. It's just like a katan there's no isser in the katan inside himself. Since the katan is not mechayev, it's not variant. Exeris because it tells me that there's no din makif on a katan as well. So now there's a question, the same question really could go on both shitas. The shayla is like this. There's a famous klal in Shas, the Gemara in Yevamos brings down, in other places, taakhilum, you're not allowed to give a kid the davar, you're not to give a kid a piece of chazer, etc. There's an isser to give a kid an isser. Even though there's no real isser for the kid, but for some reason, you're not allowed to, in other words, the kid is not a variation, but you're not allowed to do it. Strength of Chakash over here, each sheet individually, but how is either a lady allowed to do a hekef l'katan, or according to Ravad Barava, even a man's allowed to? Very good. There's no his exeris a cost of kol sheyeshni b'ashchasa ain't about kafir, since there's no din makif on a katan. Fine, but there's a new din of taakhilum. In other words, when the katan gets older, he's not allowed to be makif himself. So by you giving him a haircut, you're being machshel him in the lab of nikif. So that's the kasha. So in a chanabi, we let's say a lady's allowed to do it because since she's ain't about shchasa, she's ain't about kafir. Or so there's no din of makif, or even a gadol is allowed to do it because since the cotton's in a bit nikif, it's fine, it's good. Since the cotton's in a nikif, there's no makif. But what happened to the din of taakhilum? The chayra mitzad isser makif you're not going to have, but it's a new isser. You're now going to be machshel a cotton and any yisurim, right? He's being nikif. Oh, but since he's allowed to be nikif. Oh, he's saying an answer. But here's a lot of nikif. Yeah, crazy. But only can before his bar mitzvah. Yeah, before his bar mitzvah. It's fine. It's fine. No, but that's the din of lo yisachilov. Even the kids before his bar mitzvah, you're not allowed to give him a piece of chazer. A lady, according to that shita that holds a lady can give a cup. Could be holds. That's a separate thing. Right. And it was according to. A lady's allowed to give a man. Okay, I'm not gonna get to that now. That says that clear. I'm saying according to that sheet. Okay, could be that's not.
But it could be to you guys.
That's not. We don't. You said a man here. Who said that? It's your nickif. That's what I got. Nickif. I don't think so. But maybe. Maybe. There's one. Anyways, so the child goes both ways. So to answer it, there's a couple of different. It's you know, so it's not doing anything. It's still recording, even if it pops up. So the Binyan Tzion wants to. So it's a double shot. Vladav get the same answer. So the Binyan Tzion wants to tie a huge chiddush. I know they're chayim as well. He wants to tie that this din of leisa chilum only applies if you're muzar on the lav itself. In other words, let's say you're not allowed chazer, so too you're not allowed machshel someone else with chazer. But Louis Tzuyir, you wouldn't be a person that doesn't have the isser. He doesn't have leisa chilum as well. We spoke about this with Gabi. What? Wait, no. Let's go to the case. So it could be, in other words, Yisrael could be given time a kohen katan. According to this, could be. I mean, I think that's what he's talking about. Don't try anything at home. I'm just giving you a Rosh Prokum. So we said this chakir. There got to be a lot of different stuff. There got to be arvos, as you say. In other words, you can masber lumdish. In other words, is leis achilam and naya iser? You're being over, or when you're doing leis achilam, you're over a chelik from chazer. And when I give you a chazer, a kid chazer, is that kilo the lav? You don't have to say it like that because the guys like saying yeshiva shalom. That's one way. We said the same chakir about lifnei iver. Got the hider mitzvah. In other words, this is a chakir. There's reason makdim. When a guy does reason makdim, I think that's what we spoke about last time. Is he mekayim and naya mitzvah for this reason? Or b'shad each mitzvah has in it a din for this reason. There's a lot of nafkaminas. There got a lot of different stuff. So Akopanim, so he wants to tie this now with the gab. So that answer the kash the gabi a lady. So included your isser of being a nikkiv, you can't give someone else a nikkiv. Right. Included your isser, so you can't give a couple. So I'm saying Isha, a lady, that's no problem, he's not allowed to do it. It's not a problem, that's only going to answer that shita. What about the other shita? That holds that a lady, that anyone's allowed to, because you're makif to their nikkiv, so watch out this. The first shita holds that dafka, a lady is allowed to give it, but not a man. So that shita is good, fine. In other words, since a lady is takanada bar, so she's also not a bar, but according to the other shita that holds, anyone can give a katan, even a man who wants to chat. So he wants to tie it because what's the reason we said it? That sheet that we said it's exer sakasi. You're makish the nikif to the makif. So he said, in other words, that kolech and the nikif is exer it's under a limud. Kolech and the nikif b'chayim bakan b'chayim. I call the hevel yehu kufi l'merchant b'chayim bakan b'chayim. So as the pasuk is telling me you're not over a makif, so Choshka is telling me no, you're not going to lay sachilam. It's nechol and exer sakasi. So the Binyan Tzion. If he has a special alfus over here to tell me that you're allowed to give it to a nikif, so included in that is that there's no din lay sachilam. That's what he wants to tie. Since it's a special limud, according to that sheet, there's a special limud. A lady, no, according to that sheet, sure a lady has it. Surely, she tells a man, even a man's allowed to give it according to that sheet. So yeah, according to everyone. Now, the Marshag, he wants to be a terrible chiddush because of this shayla. Ayin is that the din of l'sachilam only, listen to what he says. He says only applies if the guy doesn't need it. If he needs it, then it's no din l'sachilam. He wants to prove it because I gave you about this in your house in Yom Kippur a couple of years ago. Well, I didn't have to say it, but I prepared you over there. He wants to say Yom Kippur. Why are you allowed to give a kid food on place achilam? There's vice versa. If the kid needs the food, there's no problem. The problem with that is that we're not going to get into that whole sugya now, but it's mamish. So the kids need the haircut, so there's no problem. Yeah, or maybe Kobe says you need. Maybe Kobe's making a little the guy was a failure. You need it for whatever reason. Kobe's opposite Sarah. I'm saying. Yeah, just look. Yeah, I'm saying. Why are we makbid? Because often a man. Maybe he's saying it's a chaylik one. The shayla that is because the case of Yom Kippur is mamish not a time. They're referring to guys for Yosef, but it's not. I don't know. It's a sir, basically. Yeah, basically. The kid needs it. It's only doing it. The problem is Yom Kippur is not a riot because Yom Kippur is. It's connected a lot of Gemaras, His riot from Yom Kippur is a shver riot because there's a lot of other truths over there for Yom Kippur, exactly how it works. Now, the Ayelos HaShachar, well, he says even worse far, in two places. It's there, that's the first line. What? It's in Ronald Steinman, Avada. We're going to say soon, him, we have a lot of different good stuff coming up. No, Avada, I'm saying. So he says like this, Givaldi Yisvara. Taina is that any time there's an isser of leis achilam if they give a guy a random isser. But since by giving a haircut is exeris hakosov is a makiv, it's similar story than we said before, but it's the other way around. So state them exeris hakosov that the only isser you have is makif and nothing else. So when it comes to haircut, since the Torah gave you your own isser of makif, there's nothing else. So mamela, if you don't have makif, No. So in other words, theoretically, there is an Isser Makif in the vote by giving haircuts. Isser Makif, there's an Isser Makif. So if for whatever reason in this case is no Makif, so then Memela there's no Leis Achilim either, because Makif is uproots the din Leis Achilim. The term made it der Makif to show me that there's no Leis Achilim. It's not why. Yeah. He's not saying why. He's not saying 100%. He's not saying because you don't need the pasuk. He's just saying stop. It's automatic. If there's a pasuk. No, he's not saying that. I don't think he's saying that at all. Yeah, he's not saying because you don't need the pasuk. He's just saying stamazay. Since you have a pasuk to tell me makif, so automatically somehow that means that it's exclusive. Everything. This is. You don't see it from there. You don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it from a Yitur on the crossing. He's just saying that from the fact. No, so the Torah is already marked here that what you're doing now is Isser Makif. The Torah already says giving haircuts to the guys goes into Parshas Makif. Don't look anywhere else. That's what he's saying. No, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying at all. That makes mamish no sense. I wouldn't even send that over. It's either Makif for Makif. That's what that's supposed to be Makif. You look at Chilul, how do you do Chilul Makif? That's worse than Chinese. It's not for the pasuk of Makif. The Torah shouldn't have said that did a Makif. Then you would. Does he just say Nikif? I'll still you mean? It could be saying he doesn't say this. Be typically because of the Iver. There is Lefnei Iver. I'm saying by God we have Lefnei Iver. So you don't need Lefnei Iver. Lefnei Iver is a big chiddush even though you don't have Lefnei Iver. So you're saying that why? No, but it's a different thing. If you get Malchus, I'm saying Lefnei Iver you don't get. I don't think you get Malchus Lefnei Iver. I don't think so. Come on, you never asked it. At least I think we learned that way. Pretty sure Lefnei Iver doesn't. It's not yet. You don't get Malchus. Anybody knows if Lefnei Iver gets Malchus? I think it doesn't. But I don't think he's saying that. Fine. Anyways, check it out. It's in the Matzir of Yudam Beis. Okay, so now the Beis Ephraim wants to tie the Hurricane Hanach Zort. He was tying that the din of Leis Achilum only applies if the guy's giving mashal to do something. But if he's staying in one place, you're not doing Leis Achilum. He's a Kaif Bialm. If you're, if he's mashal katan to do Ibsa Isser. But just don't give him something. Don't give him his chaz to eat. But if he's laying down and the guy's sleeping and you just pour a chayes without you do something to him, that's not over there. There's no din of Leis Achilum. But he himself shlogs it up. The Gemara is in Yavamis. The Gemara says you're allowed to be seich a kid. Is the problem Leis Achilum to give truma? You see, the guy's not doing anything. The guy's a chayes karka. Then no Leis Achilum means to make the guy do an avera. But if you're doing an avera without an ma'isa, even though the kid's having enough. So here's also saying haircut's not enough. Why can't he make a machal? He could make a machal, but he's not doing anything. Not making a machal is not an avera. Right. You're saying getting a haircut's not enough. Okay, could be. So now here's the other thing. It's like, see, what do you say? No, I have to see that. I have to see. He has other rights also today. I wanted to come back to that basic frame. I had another. If I just didn't get time to finish, whatever. Maybe at the end we'll figure something out. But it's like this. Now the other Mahalach will be the Rambam. He's a very interesting Rambam. Period Beis. The laws of stargazers, serving stars. He says a fascinating thing. Ein megalchen pas Rosh, kemish Rosh lev David Zorah. The Chamreim shnem lesgiv bas Roshchem. The Chayav al peyos peyos. The Chamreim shnei tzdoyim. Fine. Echod megaleach hapeyos bulvad. Umeniach sar kol harosh. Whether you do just the peyos, v'echad lo yachol rosh kachad. We do the whole thing. Choyel the gilach hapeyos leika. Since you megaleach the peyos you're leika, nothing don't touch. Amedvar maburim be'isha miskaleach hamigaleach. The guy who's giving the haircut. Avdach, are you listening? Did you hear? Avol be'ish hamisgaleach. The guy who's getting the haircut, einay leika. He doesn't like a malchus. Elo imkein siyeh elo megalech, unless he helped out the megalech. Megalech is a content like it. Now, he says a very interesting thing. You don't get malchus unless you get misayeh. So he's basically coming from a Gemara in malchus. Gemara said it's lav she ein by ma'is. Gemara said it's talking about your misayeh. So you could learn the Rambam Balabatish. He's just saying you have to do a ma'is to help. But the Kesef Mishnah doesn't say the Kesef.
Oh,
that's the show. You hit the nail on the head. So the Kesef Mishnah wants the taina, and the no using the tubas and died exactly where it's medoyek. Enough to be back in the video. So you can watch the fire truck. You can go to the window of the fire truck. You go watch it. So the name is what you can say. So it's Rambam says that you only get malchus if you're Messiah. If not a regular gadol, nikif. In other words, makif and nikif. In other words, the barber and the barbary. So the guy who's the barbary has to helping the barber barbarize himself. We're not getting too barbaric. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's Messiah, because otherwise it's lav she'en b'maisa. So you could learn the Pashas Gemara is because the Gemara basically asks the Kash it's lav she'en b'maisa. So the Gemara says Messiah. So the Gemara is mashma that it's just for the malchus. But the Kesef Mishnah learns in the Rambam that there's no Isur at all if you're not being Messiah. So according to that, Zok the Beis Ephraim, Memeiler. So the nikif is not, you're not being machshel. Let's say the kol is not doing a ma'isa, so it's pashut. There's no leis achilum. But you giving a kid a haircut. Let's say he's sitting straight, right? Which is not so simple to have a kid sitting straight. But if you give a haircut and a kid sitting straight, so then the zichan no leis achilum. The shaila is what if the kid's going to be Messiah? It's like the Beis Ephraim half of Avshalom. The time is, but you're not doing leis achilum. That's his own thing. He decided to be Messiah. You're not. You're giving him the food, but you're telling him Messiah. You're giving him the food to eat. You didn't give him the Messiah to Messiah. He decided he wanted Messiah to help you. If the Isser is Messiah, okay, wait. What was I going to say? Now, the other thing, I'll take a step weiter. If the Beis Ephraim wants that, Alfira Rambam, it's even better. Alfira Rambam, it's Pashut, there's no Isser Achilum, because there's no Isser on the Nikif B'chlal, that's if he's not doing a Maisa. What about if the kid? It's the first time you can be making the Gemara, the guy, that the kid's not doing a Maisa, but it's already a day. But if I is Messiah, so if there by Messiah, there's no less achila with Messiah, because you're not giving him the Messiah. You're giving him the haircut. You're not telling him to be Messiah. What are you doing? You're telling him to help you with the haircut. That's his own. He decided to help you. You don't need his help. You're giving him the guy a haircut. He decides to Messiah, but I'm not being matched with him in the Messiah. So Mamela, what if I give a guy a chazer? Because so okay, fine. So then, no, let's go back to Shach. No. So Shach says better. Shach learns the Rambam differently. He learns that he holds the Rambam holds. He says it's a shitos. It's machlokes the Rambam and the Ravid. Let's check him out how he says it. That he says the Rambam mitzvah for mitzvahs tainas that there's a lav on the makif. Here, mitzvahs leis to say manaram lav the loyla hakif fast reish. But arrive in massive cost of zelshani lav the makif vilav the nikif. Lav the mashkas vilav the nishkas. By zokin and reish, the Rambam only counts the lav the makif, and now he doesn't count the lav the nikif as one of the many mitzvahs. But the Ravid says he counts the nikif as an extra lav. Don't touch it. So itainas. So the Rambam Shleiman halav shel nikif sever be'emes shalocho ein al hanikif lav mishum nikif. Elosh im saya oiver mishum makif. K'mei makif. Yitaina is the Rambam learns the Gemara Messiah that you're over mishum makif. That's what he learns the Gemara. That if you're missing the Gemara, why is the nikif get malchus? So Teretz says malchus is not because he's being makif himself. In other words, he learns the Rambam there's not no such thing as the lav of makif b'chlam. The whole of nikif. There's no such thing as nikif. The only nikif there is makif. Messiah, then you're being makif. That's what he learns. That's Shitas and Rambam. So Mela, it's Pashut. Rambam doesn't count nikif as a lav, so he goes through the other things. So you're being makif yourself. But there's no Isser makif, just like you're allowed to be makif. Kosher can't be makif. And since you have a din, you're allowed to be makif a cotton. So you also have a din that the cotton is like makif himself. It can't be that a gadol can be makif a cotton, but a cotton can't be makif. In other words, there's no Messiah to be them. If we're saying mitzad makif, the kids being I understand, but he's doing a ma'aser makif. But we're saying mitzad makif is no Isser b'chlal in this case, either because it's the isha or because kosher any ba'kafa. But if there's no Isser hakafa over here, Kappa said no kash was als nikif. You being machshel a nikif, but there's no shnigas nikif. But the Gemara that's the makif. The Gemara says there's no makif. If there's no problem, the Gemara says clear there's no makif. If a gadol could be makif, the cotton, if the kosh can cotton could be makif a cotton. Why could a gadol be makif a cotton? No, the cotton wasn't machshel a cotton and nikif. That was the kasha. Kasha was very good mitzad makif. But if there's no Ister Makif in the first place, how could it be Ister the cotton to do it?
There's no Ister.
There's no. The Gemara says.
But the kid. That's
Chinese.
Every time two people are doing Makif.
You can Makif a cotton.
They're both doing Makif.
You're allowed to Makif a cotton. So there's no Ister Makif when you do the Makif is on the cotton. No, that's not true because the Gemara says there's no Ister Makif. The Gemara says there's a cost, so there's no Makif. The Gemara says, by makif is a cotton, there's no din makif.
That means the gadol is okay.
The gadol is okay, mitzad makif. Cotton's not doing a makif. Of course, yeah. Of course, the cotton's okay, mitzad makif. So sure he's okay. There's no makif. The kasha was mitzad nikif. The kasha was a machshel cotton and nikif. That was the kasha. That you
machshel or makif.
But you're being machshel and makif a cotton, and there's nothing wrong with being makif a cotton in the first place. For goodness, glorious gracious. There is. Then like taakhilom. The Isser, what? Don't be makif to a gadol, but to a cotton you're allowed to be makif. But that's what taakhilom is. Taakhilom says you can't do anything like which if you do when you're old, you're allowed to. But he's not doing anything. He's giving a haircut to a cotton, and there's no Isser makif.
When this kid grows up, he can't tilt his head. So now he can't tilt his head.
That's because then he's going to be a gadol. When he grows up, he's going to be allowed to give a cotton a haircut. No shaykhs. No, you won't. Let's taakhilom. It's so simple. There's Isser of makif. The Gemara has a Gezeres HaKosav that when you're makif a cotton, you're not over the Isser of makif.
Where do they speak about the child? They're talking.
Wait. A gadol gives a haircut to a cotton.
Now we have an interesting case.
There is no such Isser of makif as a cotton. Makif as a cotton is just as equal to blowing your nose.
Now I have an interesting
case. The question is if a cotton is. Let me ask you.
I have an interesting case of here. Now I'm asking. Good. There's no makif. Torah said that when a gadol is makaf a cotton, he is not over makaf. But there's another part to the story. There's a kid over here who I just was messiah him to be over a makaf.
But there's no Isser of makaf in a cotton. We just explained.
Right.
That makes no sense.
And it's the gadol's makaf for the gadol.
What's the difference? The gadol and the cotton. If a gadol could do it, for sure a cotton could do it. Hashem Yirachim.
Why could the cotton do it?
Because there's no Isser to be makif a cotton. Is he okay? Fine. You guys asking a new question. I never asked that question. The kasha was that you're being machshel gadol for cotton and nikif. When he gets old, he's not going to be able to do a nikif. So we're answering there's no nikif. Now you have a new question which makes no sense. We'll discuss that later.
He's not going to be able to be a
makif was never a question.
So we're just renaming that he's not going to be able to be a makif.
We'll stop there. Yeah, there's more to say around. Say that.
No,
I'm saying it's fine. So it's back to the Rambam. As we were saying. So stop. The shadow is what's the makar of the Rambam? So I saw an interesting. The Rambam had to learn more. Yeah. Right, so they handle that. Yes, I think he goes through it. But so the kids said, "Stop." I'll say Gishmak makar for the Rambam Shita that there's nothing black. I'm taking a video of the share. Okay, so the time is like this: that there's a Rambam Sachmoid, the shiloh of the Israeli Sachmoid. The Rambam says you're only really Sachmoid if you actually take away the chayfetz from someone else. If you want a chayfetz, you're not really Sachmoid. You're only over it if you actually grab the chayfetz from Yan. The Rambam, but you don't get malchus only Sachmoid because it's a lot of shame by Maisa. Understand Rambam? Fractor, right? It's the hill. It's only Sachmoid. You're taking the chayfetz. Yeah. So Zok developed. So the Rambam holds that the Isser is. What do you say?
How much chamda Who says this?
Who says this? This is the Elmsteinus. He wants to say, so let's come to the Nikif. The Gemara says Messiah. But the Chayr, that's not enough. Messiah shouldn't give you Malchus. Because if about to be saying Nikif doesn't need, in other words, if you're doing more Kipshute, that the Isser is Nikif, just you don't get Malchus unless you're Messiah, so then you have a problem, Chayr, because even if I'm Messiah, but the Isser is to be Nikif, grad I'm doing a Maisa to help. But why does that give me Malchus? In other words, the Maisa of Siyua shouldn't give me Malchus. Just like the Rambam holds doing a Maisa of Chemda doesn't give me Malchus because the Iker Isser is believed. So the Isser is being a Nikif. If you hold the Issers across the board, So how does Messiah change anything? So therefore the Rambam had to learn the Gemara over there.
Yeah, because over here, you don't. Yeah. For him to have to be a nick without being there.
Right. Because there you only have right, exactly.
So
this Mikhayev though, the Rambam had to learn the Gemara's terror that the Isser only is by the whole Isser Nikav is only by Messiah. And as we said, the Rambam holds the original Kesef Mishnah is the Rambam that the Isser that if you're not Messiah, there's no Isser B'chlal. So that's how we have to learn it, because it couldn't be that there's an Isser without being Messiah, because then Messiah shouldn't have changed from Malchus, as I said the 3 days. That's not Mikhayev from Rambam. It's only Messiah. It's only Messiah if you're helping the Makif. Yeah, you're only over Nikif if you're Messiah and a Makif. How did the Rambam learn the Gemara like that? Yeah. The Gemara is, the Gemara in, no, I'm not going with Shach, but this is Makif. Let's say Isser's Nikif. Let's say Isser's Nikif. So was the Gemara, what was the Gemara in Makif says, why do you get Malchus by Nikif? And for the Gemara, you Messiah. So Pashtus, the Gemara is just saying, I'm giving you an help. Pashtus, the Gemara is just saying, that about you over Isser Nikif across the board. So Messiah, you get Malchus. Charles, the Rambam, the Kesef Mishnah is the Rambam not like that. He's back in the Rambam that the fair is only Messiah. Shows why did you learn the Rambam like that? Why couldn't you learn the Gemara? The Ver is across the board. The Ver of Nikif is across the board. Just you're only over the Ver of Nikif. You only get Malchus for Messiah. So it's 3 days, because if the Isser is even when you're not being Messiah, then being Messiah wouldn't have given you Malchus. Because so he goes through chametz. Chametz, you find that you only if you do a meister. So I would have to check it out. This is really if you buy chametz, so there also you don't need it. Right, I'll have to check it out. I don't know, but fine. You guys press the off button. Someone just go to the thing. He talks about chametz over there. I'm trying to remember what he says. No, the red. Yeah.